Hello everybody and welcome to this furniture design tutorial in Shapr3D in which I'm going to show you a process in which you can use 3D modeling as an explorative process to develop different design ideas. In this case, a furniture solution. For example, we take a look at the cubicle design. We can see that everything started with a very basic sketch and we just simply extruded it up. Then we made a copy where we rotated the sides. With another copy and another one, we rotated the top part and then even colored this one out. So you can see that actually with each step, we did another modification. And this iterative process very often is very effective when you want to explore different design ideas because through the process of making these sometimes tiny, very basic modifications, you just gain different insights, you get different ideas, etc. We will also take a look into how we can create very organic shapes with the spline command. We will take a look at how we can use the sweep command to create these swept benches. And then we will finish everything with a revolve part. And then when we go into the visualization, now you will see that actually just by using very basic shapes and modeling commands, variation and quantity as a design principle, we already developed quite an interesting variety of different possible and valid design solutions. With all that said, let's do it. So here we are inside a new document. Let's make sure snapping is on. We are in inches. Double click on this to go into standard view and then top view. So this is, think about it as our canvas. And I like to work from left to right and top to bottom, kind of like nicely spread out. Think about this as a piece of paper. So in top view, I will go to sketch. I will go to the center rectangle and somewhere on this x-axis, I go to the left side. Let's say click here and drag a rectangle out, 16, tab 16, enter. So that's our base. To have a surface to sit on, it should be around 16 by 16 inches. Now I'm starting at 16 inches off the ground to 18 inches. We can exit the sketch, click on that rectangle, and then we extrude 2 inches a block out. This actually represents our base. Let's now build the upholstery part. Select the top surface, go to extrude this one up. We can set this to 16 inches. Now this is like 16 plus 2, so this is 18 inches height. And then we want this to be a new body and not fused to it. Oh, that's not too bad. In the intro, I was talking about how when you start modeling, you can use modeling like drawing also as, simply speaking, an explorative process where through copies and variations, you try to find and generate interesting ideas. Very often I say, work smart, not hard. So instead of making a new sketch, I go to our initial sketch, right click. Let's say we call this the base profile. I click on it to go into edit mode, go to top view, and just simply somewhere with sufficient amount of space, I just add another rectangle. To learn a little bit more about constraining, I press escape. This one should be 16, and these two lines should be equal. So this one is always 16 because we made this one 16. Very good. I can move this around, but not up and down. You see this is locked via a coincident constraint to this midpoint. If you select the constraint, delete it, and this one can freely move around. If I go back onto the axis, it locks it onto it automatically, so I can just move this around. Now this is the way how I start sketching and then later move sketches around and build my parts. or reposition everything. Sometimes you design and then you need to clean up your scene. Here we do another 2 inches for the extrusion. Let's do a little bit of repetition. Another 16 for the extrusion, new body. But now here we're going to change the degree. 5 degrees, fine. Now look at that. Now we have a nice kind of like tapered base. This is actually now also a little bit bigger now because we angled this. The base now I would like to be smaller. Let's see how would this look. So I can select the base and push this in by 1 inch. Yeah, that looks interesting. Now you see this is on the left side is a boring block, and this actually looks more interesting. Okay, very good. What else can we do with this? I will, instead of making a new sketch, simply select these 2 bodies, double click or select the bodies here, make a copy, and then I move them over so I have a little bit of a nice clearance, little bit of space, let's say there. We can also rotate faces. That's quite fun. So you select a face, you select an edge, and then you can rotate it. It's not really rotating the face so that the geometry distorts. We are only just rotating or sliding this face, but all the other faces remain having their orientation. I undo this step, do this one more time, face and then that edge, and rotate this 5 degrees. That looks quite nice. What about we do this with a second rotation? So let's make another copy. There and there, and another 5. So there's, how a person can sit this way, and there a person can sit this way. Now, if you think about ergonomics, surfaces that are slightly angled always make you sit a little bit more aware so you don't hunch over, so because you're sliding forward. Okay, so you see through very simple extrusion and then rotating faces, we already out of a block created 3 different variations. Let's make one more. There we are. Let's make a copy, bring this over there, because here now I will explore the idea of, well, what happens if we shell this, actually hollow this out. 1.5, so it has a good thickness. That seems to be too thin. We can make this a little bit bigger, say 2 inches. Yeah, that's fine. That looks good. Okay. You noticed I did not touch the topic of fillets yet. That is something we will do later. Here, I'm only exploring really the proportions of materials, of volumes, etc. Materials and fillets, that's detail work for the end. Very nice. Cool. We can now go to the site. I go back to the top view and then click on that sketch. Let's see what we can do with a circle. So there's a circle. So 16 inches, that's fine. Very good. By the way, I can go back to this idea and simply make sure that my bases are always 2 inches high. You see like how I'm adding this to it. But I see actually that this one also added another cylinder to it in this current version of Shapr, so I just turn this one off. don't want this. Go ahead and let's do an extrusion, 16, tab, and new body. Very nice, thank you. And because I'm going to use exactly the same base, this time now I'm selecting the base, move this one over, very good. Then I select this one, 16 up and 5 degrees. Oh, this actually went to the inside. Yeah, why not? Oh, cool. Let's keep it this way. This is a happy accident. And yes, some people actually call me Bob Ross of Shapr3D. I'm not making this stuff up. That's really true. And here, let's go this way. Because here we also have this push and pull. So I will go ahead and push this one in by 1 inch. So 16 to 15 inches. So it is kind of like 1 inch in. This is the first push and pull, 1 inch. Let's go to 14. Yeah, okay, this looks better. See, this actually looks quite nice, how we have a very basic stool, and then we are kind of like playing with these ideas of making the seating surface wider or actually even more narrow. And I mentioned 1616 is kind of like what you need. The idea this already generates is that maybe this is a surface I put a book on, and this is a surface I sit on. And this is the way how kind of like your ideas are being generated or played out. Here, this one is hollowed out. I just now realized, hey, this could be interesting. So we bring this one over there. Okay, let's for the sake of symmetry, bring this one in too. And then we select the top one. We hollow the top one out. Okay, let's say like this. And then we select the inner surface and just bring the surface up. And look at that. Now we have actually, yeah, a surface with a small rim to put onto. All developed essentially out of one basic cylinder. This might be another very good an example of how ideas generate when you start simply modeling. Very often I tell students, turn off your brain. Very often that's our worst enemy. Just do stuff, have fun. Very often things will happen. Okay, what else can we do actually with this design? So we haven't really worked with cutting geometry yet. So this is actually a pretty nice design. I make a copy of this and bring this over, let's say to here. Very good. And I'm selecting this cylinder, make a copy, bring this over. Oh, actually, no, let's not do that. The reason why I said that is I want things to be symmetrical. These two are symmetrical vertically. So we'll select this base, make a copy, bring that one to there. And check this out, what I'm going to do now. This, we make bigger. Thank you. Go to a side view. Then I select this and rotate it. Okay. Bring this down to maybe here. No, we do not need that. But we can actually simply make this bigger. And then there's the movement. We just move this one slightly up. And this one I make bigger. You see how I am bringing this cutting edge higher up. Cool. What are we doing now? Well, check this out. We take this and say subtract, and we cut that big piece away. There, that looks pretty nice. You see now this goes up pretty high, which brought up another idea. So right click, insert breakpoint. So we go back one step. And now I will select this, this, and this, make a copy, bring this over, and this one I would like to rotate, go to there. If this is too wide, simply expand both faces. Oh, something doesn't work. Well, when in doubt, throw it out. Let's do this together one more time. There. And delete the breakpoint. And then here, because this takes place after this, we can just say the target body are these two, and the tool bodies are these two. There. So, there we have essentially the same seat or stool, but that surface is actually rotated. By the way, these surfaces we can still also move around by sliding it. Can we also move it? Oh yeah, we can. So now this actually moves that surface up and down. If you select it and use a push and pull, you're changing the shape a lot. Very good. Yeah, look at that. No, that's actually quite nice. Beautiful. So this was just already a very simple exercise, just taking a rectangle and then creating the stuff. We haven't done anything yet really with organic shapes. So we can go back if we want to the same sketch. The main reason why in this exercise I put everything into the base profile sketch, so everything is just in one document. I really don't need to split this up into multiples. So let's go to the spline command and click and select the control. The way how splines work is super great. You click, click, and click, and click, and go to the end and click, press escape. And you see this is the way how then it draws it. Let's delete it. I'd like to show you something too. Click, click, and escape. Then with the spline tool, you can click on a point and add to it. Press escape and escape. You notice that this is very sharp and this is sharp. And when you click on this point, you could say, hey, make this soft or make this sharp. Look how easy that is. So this is kind of like what you do in Illustrator with the point being sharp or smooth. And then here, this is joint. When you click on this, this is the coincident constraint. We can disconnect it. We can also select a point and delete it. Okay, very good. That was the crash course into how to use the spline command. And that's it. It's super powerful in Shapr3D. So here we have like 16 by 16. So I can use this a little bit as a base to draw a nice organic shape. So it somewhat fits over it. Make sure these points don't snap to any of the other geometry. And there we are. Cool. Let's make one more. Clong. And there. Maybe a little bit wider. Very good. Kind of like a bean shape. There you are. So there you see one, two, so two people could sit on it. And that's actually a project I worked on some years ago for 2B Studio, and the client was Leland International in Grand Rapids. So here again, we extrude these pieces up. In this case here, I start a new extrude command, 2 inches, there we are, and then select both and extrude and push them up by 16 tab. And also here, we push this out, -5 tab. I said minus. There. Very good. And then these two I can select and push in at the same time. Oh, what's going on here? Ah, okay, hold on. I have a modeling mistake. So there and there. What do we have here? Ah, union, new body there. I forgot to actually set that. So now this should work. Yeah, there we are. That's the beauty of the history. If you make mistakes, you can easily fix that instead of having to rebuild it. Yeah, that looks quite nice, no? Let's make one more of those organic shapes. So I go to the base profile, go to here, and maybe I try to create something that's bigger there. So now I need to, when here the legs are going to, there we are. Sometimes now you can also go do a 16 by 16 rectangle and then like fits. It's a pretty big piece. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, very good. So that thing done. I can click on this surface because I know this shows me the extrude command, and then I can click on edit, simply add this one to it. Thank you. Whoa, that's kind of cool. You saw all the other stuff is already updated. That's I think a new thing in Shapr3D, but it's kind of fantastic because this is all parametric. Now we can go ahead and play with these curves and just adjust this as needed. This is just beautiful. I'm curious what happens if I delete this line. Okay. That actually looks cleaner if I delete this point. Yeah, see now here I do think I need 2 points. So how do I do this? I will make this sharp. Then I can open this, drag this one out, go to spline, click, and click patch in a new version, escape and escape, make this smooth and make this one smooth. Bonk. There, that was the last missing piece. Crash course how to use splines. Beautiful. That's actually quite nice. I talked about when you model, ideas happen and generate. What happens if I have this as a stool and I would like to have a side table that is actually at a lower base? So when is this one made? Boolean, right click, insert breakpoint. You noticed that now this stuff is hidden. Here's a marker, and I know I could go ahead and select all this, make a copy, bring one copy over. There we are. Select this, make a copy, bring this over to intersect. So 13 and another 13. Thank you. And this one I bring down. There we are. Cool. So from this one, I want this and this to be removed, but keep the removed body. From this one, I want this and this to be removed. Very nice. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I didn't hit. Okay, done. Oh, here. keep the tools. Yep. And then you and you, you and you. Hold on, you need to select the whole part. There, let's say move this over by 2 inches so we have a little bit of visual separation there. Okay, cool. Now you see, out of one shape, we created a new shape via just removing the volume. So it's similar like how we created this part. Very often I tell students I don't like this term, my simple idea. This is simple, because very often I hear I didn't really try much. I'm honest, it sounds like I'm lazy. I try to get away with not much work and claim it's a great design. However, here these are all very basic shapes. And what I'm trying to stress is how, through the combination of very simplistic tools and design principles, you can already out of basic shapes actually create interesting designs. And what really works now, particularly here with this, is it's a family. The quantity makes it work. Very good. Okay. Very nice. So now we are coming actually to the last command to look into, and that is the sweep. I would like to create a swept design out of this body here. Whoa. Let's go to the top view and I make a copy. I could bring this one down, for example, or move this on top. Now it's really up to you. I simply put this one to here. So I have, I'm going to use this simply as a place where I would like to work. Very good. I would like this to be sliced through the center. And because I do have here two parallel faces, I can say, create me a plane at the midpoint. There's the plane. And this plane I can use as a split tool. Then you and you, and I think the plane at this point we can delete. And there we are. No, there is that piece. So now we actually have a profile as a sketch. Instead of, I could have drawn this, or I'm simply used the geometry and made actually a section cut and use that to create my sketch. This time now, because this is a modeling step that happened at the end, and I made the sketch actually at the beginning, I should now make, in this case, a new sketch, because I can connect this sketch now to this piece of geometry. You will see. So from here, click and click, click, and let's say click, I don't know, maybe there, and escape, and escape, and end. Cool. So when I select this face and then this spline, I can sweep it along it. Look at that. See? Ta-da! Looks pretty nice. We also have quite a lot of bodies, so it's really useful to just at one point put them all into one folder. So that's then easier to select everything. I can select the sketch too, and then select these points and just play with this. There we are. There. Pretty nice. Cool. It's really important that the first 2 points, so that one and that one, are perpendicular to the plane. And I simply here use the Now you could say the grid or actually the snapping. If that doesn't work for you, you can draw a very simple trick, a line between the first and the second point, and then make this horizontal vertical. There we are. We can delete this if you don't need it anymore. Yeah, very good. So can move this around to make this, and this is pinched right here. That's not nice. Can just maybe make it like this. And this one, let's make this angled. Yeah, this looks cool. Okay, I would like to have another version of this. So this is one thing to keep in mind. Now when you work with multiples, here's my sketch. I will right click, put my marker in here so I can select all this, make a copy and just move it to the side. And then I delete this breakpoint again. You see that I'm time-wise backwards. And then I can go to sketch. Now let's maybe try out something different. Flomp, 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 flomp. And then here, there's my guideline, 2 points, which are all along the same line. You see here, if I draw again, this line trick, these lines, they all should be vertical, horizontal. Cool. Okay. So what I can do now is, well, I select this and the spline and sweep, select this and the spline and sweep. There we are. Now we made kind of like a nice and long piece, maybe a little bit too long. So let's see what we can do by shortening this a little bit. Very often you have to massage these sketches to get them into a proportion where the product actually looks good. Very nice. Okay, let's say this is good. I know I will need one more of these copy commands. So right click, insert breakpoint. Then I drag, select everything, make another copy. There we are. Stop the breakpoint. In this case now, I will select the face. On that face, I make a sketch. I can draw here a line, draw a line over, draw a line up, select all, say horizontal, vertical, select all, say construction line. And what I will do now is I say, so you and you along this line be a revolved body. There we are. Let's say 80 degrees. Oh, but edit just one piece and then here the same. We have to make those individual. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Let's make another piece that goes with it. Let's say 60 and there and where is it there? 60, beautiful. That looks good. We could select all this and say around here. So this sketch, make a copy and another, let's say 80 degrees. What happens if we move this apart? You see, like this is just so beautiful. I can play with it. These cubes, we're actually coming to the end. We don't need those anymore. So let's select them. And at Costco, they say, when in doubt, throw it out. Gone. Pretty cool. Okay. Also here, the sketches I put into one folder. So I sort everything a little bit. There we are. That's quite nice. Last thing maybe to show in terms of playfulness. So I select these two here and those and go to isolate because I really like how the cube actually had kind of like slanted faces. So here I push this back by 1 inch. I put this back by 1 inch. I will also do the same here. There, beautiful. And then I say hue. I go 5. And here, you go 5. And then here, yeah, 10 looks too aggressive. And you see how easy it is. I hope also you start noticing how repetitive everything is. There's a lot to learn at the beginning, and then yeah, it's actually pretty easy. I would like to clean up this scene a little bit now. Right click and say sketches, and let's say designs. That's our first profile. This is this is sketch 2. Let's say this is actually sweep profile, so we know what that is. And that is actually our revolve profile. Did I spell revolve correctly? Uh, yes, I did. Very good. Now it's like this is a huge gap. This is too tight. So I can go to the sweep base profile. So I will select all the sketches here and then just, let's say, give that a little bit of air to breathe. There, that looks a tick better. I can select this ring here and see how that whole family moves over. I could even delete this point and just bring that to here. So you see like how we are organizing everything. Very good. Then the next thing will be a little bit chaotic. I assume we need to figure out where did we do the first. There's that command. So this one, told you, now it would be a little bit funny. It's okay. I do this on purpose so you see what is happening. We can maybe move that one to here. Let's say all good. There's our sweep profile, and all we need to do is, besides this point and this, no, actually here I select everything besides that point, or I just select all this. Zip. Bring this back there. Now here, actually, I draw this line one more time because it's actually helpful. There we are. Good. Thank you. There, that's fixed. And here, these actually can go over a little bit. So why do I show you this? Simply so you understand how these programs work, what you can do, where it might get a little bit more crazy, one could say. And you are in the process of learning this program. So it's natural that you don't know all the ins and outs yet. So this is good exercise knowing also what not to do. But you see, it is not really a big task to reorganize all this stuff. This actually went pretty fast. There, now this is already kind of like much better. Where is that last? So here, that one. Can we move this one? Oh yeah, it's here. This maybe makes more sense to be positioned here. There. Okay, very good. There, organized. Oh, look at that. What happens if we select this and this, and then put this one here in the center? Okay. Not too bad. You and you need to be rotated a little bit. There, rotated. So that is better. That is quite nice. I might like to have this one maybe as a piece that goes to there. Make a copy, but then turn the link off. Wait, no, my fault. Let's select this one again. Make a copy, bring this over. The copy now I turn off. So I can rotate this, just eyeball it. That's fine. Yeah, that actually looks quite nice. Now you see, you compact it a little bit more. It's kind of like a drawing, but on a paper it's drawn, and then 3D we can reorganize it. I could also simply have selected all the objects and moved them around. The way how I did this now was simply the sketches are all under the objects. Maybe last thing to fix is kind of like maybe bring this one up, bring this one over, bring this one there, and there, 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 and there, and there. There's the midpoint. Yeah, that's good enough. Beautiful. And now is actually the task where we could go ahead and add fillets. Here, for example, this is all round. I do, as you see, select all those at the same time. So these are all the circular pieces. Let's say 1 inch. That's pretty good. And look, even there, this is actually really quite nice. So that's the bigger fillet on top, and then we can do the small fillet here at the bottom, 0.25. And you isolate this. Oh, what's going on here? That should not be fused together. Nope, new body. Unisolate you. Isolate there. And then I can select this one and say, hey, edit that fillet. Oh, it's this one. Oh, open it. Thank you. Please add these edges to it. Thank you. Bye-bye. There. Done. Now, here, this is going to be an interesting case because we have different edges. So I round those actually first. Let's say 0.5. No, 1. And then I can select this and say 0.75, so smaller. So I get this tiny rounding there. Cool. Also here, I will select, in this case, as an example, all those edges. And you see since I'm considering them all being a family, I simply select all those edges at the same time. Yeah, and then if I round this, you see we get this triangular edge fillet, and then I have the bottom pieces there and there and there and there, 0.25 to do this rounding. My pieces here are sticking as a tick over. So how do we fix this? I go to This is actually, yeah. I got to this one. That was the last piece I built out of this, and this one was a copy. So there, right click, breakpoint. Oh, actually, it was not. Oh, anyway, it's fine. So I cannot, I mean, I could push this back if I want to, but you see, that's misaligned. If we want to be correct, we are going to rotate this one. This around there, no, this, rotate around this, let's say by how much? 4 degrees. Ah, well, then you see then, this doesn't look so fine. Okay. I think for what we're doing to suggest 1 inch, yeah. Can we actually do all those at the same time? Even while they have different orientations? That should work. Yeah, that works. So that means here, edit, just let's add all those at the same time. See, I also learn clunk there. Oh, what? Oh, I see. Okay. There was another one before there, this one. 6 faces, 1 face. There, that one. Delete. And where is our time marker? There, gone. There. See, this is better now. Okay. Maybe one last interesting filleting detail to show is here I will simply select this and then I do 1 inch, but then I click on this cog and say here, create this setback corner. Pay attention to these corners. Now you see it's a different shape. That looks actually also quite nice. Maybe do the same for the other one. So here, edit, and I'm going to add this one. Oh, this is actually a little bit slow to calculate. So cancel. To make this quicker, rolling back and edit. Cling, cling, cling. I'm selecting all these edges. Actually, also here, this should be then the base should also follow the fabric. Very good. Oh, there's the last one. Done. And then I switch this. Wait, wrong command. There. You see it now. Took a little bit. That's also a good example to why to do the fillets at the end. They can be at times pretty time consuming. If we think about this to be a piece that has upholstery over a wooden part, and then the inside is, let's say, covered with wood or something. Now you see how I'm doing the outside and then the inside edges separately. Here, smaller rounding. And then I can select all those and round this. And then I can select these inner ones and just a tiny, 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 tiny 0.1. Okay. And maybe make this, round this. Okay. Good. We're reaching the end of this exercise. In the end, we could just go into the visu. This is the default material. I will say this default material change should be fabric. Where is maybe there's the cotton, this color. If I zoom in, can play with the scale a little bit so I can see there is something. Okay. Then I go to front view, front view, and then bodies, left to right selection, and then this here, let's say ABS, and then we make this dark gray there. Beautiful. Oh, this one here, we said, now what happens if we have something that has a wood material on the inside? There I'm selecting all this inside, change, and let's say go to the wood material. What about this one? There we are. And undo isolate. Oh, by the way, we should do this actually with this one. Let's say all this is actually the wood surface. Flop. There. Cool. Beautiful. And that means also here. And even while playing with materials and adjusting this, again, this is also kind of like a design process. You come up with ideas, you come up with discoveries, you see new combinations or opportunities. Yeah, and look at that. That actually looks pretty nice. And we are done.